Electro, science.
Electro. Why do we watch the stars? Are we alone in the universe? What are atoms? Electro. Why are we here? Where did we come from? E equals MC. Electro. Periodic table of elements. Electrology. What is astrology?
Electro, science.
The internet, airplanes, headphones, and baseball. All of these things are some of the just amazing things that human beings have created. But each one of them can be broken down into science. The internet is a network of computers which are based on technology, which technology is based on science. Airplanes just follow this principle, that's simple science. Headphones also work with technology, which is science, and baseball. Even baseball is based on science. Throwing a baseball, you move a certain way, a curveball, slider, it's science. The mind is the human drawing board. Now, each of those things that we just discussed came from the exact same place, the human mind. The human mind is an amazing thing. It pretty much runs our lives, and yet it's mysterious. It's very mysterious to scientists. Science has not really come up with a real way in how it works. Written language, math, speech, all things that we've achieved through the evolved human brain. We are free of the reptile brain from where evolution began. Our brain has evolved from the center outside. That is what puts us on top of the food chain. Our evolved brain, as well as our thumbs. It's amazing to consider that this mass of jelly and muscle that you can hold in your hands, that it can contemplate the vastness of space and the tininess of an atom. Our brain sees the world through our eyes. It takes in sensory information in the form of energy. Information in the form of energy. It takes in from our senses, and it creates this huge picture, this collage, and of what that moment looks like, what it feels like, and what it sounds like. Our brain has so much information and knowledge and just basic ideas that it could fill 20 million textbook volumes. The information in our brains is in little cells called neurons. Now, if you were to take a piece of paper, fold it, and you were to write all the information in your brain on paper, back to front, and then in the tiniest font, and then fold it up as much as possible, there would be so many pieces of paper that they would fill this hallway that I'm in 1,000 times. Think of your brain as paper with that information. There's so much knowledge, but it doesn't take up too much room because it folds. You see with your eyes, but you can see with your brain as well. And when you see with your brain, it's called imagination. Now, everything you see in the world around you was imagination. Everything that was non-nature is imagination. Everything we see was invented by someone. Wall, a camera, paper, my shirt, everything was created by the human brain. The brain is the human drawing board. And everything that we see and encounter was once a crazy idea or a vivid dream. When I was a child, I used to look at the world and inconveniences or problems. I would try to invent solutions. Invention are different things. But of course, being a child, I didn't realize many of the things I thought of had already been thought of, so they weren't really my invention. But it's interesting to think about that, isn't it? As a child, we all discovered certain things the same way. Two minds can look at the same problem and have the same solution, or completely different solutions. It's kind of like, what is the real problem we're looking at? The internet, when it first came out, was very slow and not very widely available. But you look at that and you think, okay, what's the issue? Well, it's too slow. All right, well, it's not widely available. It's too hard to get connected to it. Now, it's on our cell phones, but it's also lightning fast. So you look at a problem and decide what is the real problem, because there's different parts to it. Innovation, which is taking something and improving it, is a lot easier than inventing, because you don't have to create a new concept, but a concept of a concept. You can look at the internet, it's too fast, or it's not fast enough. Well, you can look at television. All right, well, we have VCR and DVR and remote now. You can look at cars. Well, they're safer now. I mean, innovation is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mocking innovation. Innovation runs the economy. Because two minds can create different or similar solutions to the same problem, it would be amazingly interesting to visit an alien culture and discover how they have created solutions to certain problems that we both face. War, technology, just looking at the technology we know of. UFOs, if they are in fact alien crafts, first of all, they are discs, which in our human technology, we have gotten discs about 10 feet off the ground, and theirs can apparently travel through space. So that's one thing we already see is different. But I'm sure they started out the way we did. Rockets just going to the moon and other planets in their own solar system. The brain is wrinkled, it's ugly, it feels like mushroom and it's slimy. Yet without it, we're just another animal in the animal kingdom looking for food or hunting or trying to survive. Our brain was once considered to be an unimportant part of the human body. The Egyptians, when they would mummify a human being, they would remove the brain, believing it had no true value for the human. They thought the heart was the source, which makes sense. It pumps blood to us, but it cannot think. It is often believed we love with our heart, but actually we love with the brain. When I look at my pet dog, she's interested in a couple things: living, eating, and sleeping. And it makes me wonder, without our evolved brains, would that be us? I mean, I love my dog, but she's different than us. Her brain has not evolved as far as ours has. She is not inquisitive about where she came from, or why she wants to eat, or why she feels the need to sleep. She just does. She just is. And before the human brain evolved, that's all we were. Eating, sleeping, and living. Not questioning where we came from, not questioning why we are here. That is another thing that separates us. Our inquisitive nature. If we were not inquisitive, we would not be human. Science is the inquisitive nature, is skeptically interrogating the world in which we live and the universe and asking why. Our brains have been molded and changed by questions and by understanding. Our brain, as it evolves, it reflects each stage through which it has evolved past. We are free of the original brains of evolution. Inventors pride themselves on coming up with that new big thing, on being a part of the future, which they are. When I look at the world today, it's run by the internet and by science, technology, and by computers and cell phones. But when you really think about it, what's next? If you think, you would think we have everything. What else could we need? Information at the touch of a button, lightning fast, communication wherever we go. 20 years ago, they could not have imagined such amazing technologies that would run the world today. 20 years ago, they could never have imagined what we live with every day. And it makes me wonder, as I stand here in a high school, full of our future, what is the next great thing that will revolutionize our world? Because the next great thing could be right around the corner. It could be in any one of these rooms, any one of these hallways. And we won't know until it's here.